Type it in chat. I got most of it. It was just like the last half of it. You want to roll awareness notice to check on other maesters? Okay. You look around and you see that a couple of maesters have run over with you to help him, but most of them have stayed with the patrons that they're actively trying to help. Roll knowledge education.
Sassy, can you call out what he's saying if he types it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I should. So, Transforcer asked to make an awareness notice roll to see if there were any other Maesters who were responding to Barely's calls. And he got 60, so he succeeded. That a couple of other ones did respond, but most of them are still trying to help patients. And so, yeah, that's fine. Roll legends. Legends history is kind of the same thing. So roll knowledge, legends history as your bonus dice, fine. And now he's asking if he recognizes the ailment. 20. Well, that blows my nefarious plan out of the water. You remember in the he's lolling. You remember that in the earliest days, you remember an old book that you read once. That you remember in the earliest days of the faith, they had a lot of strife, a lot of conflict with other faiths and trying to convert people to their religion. And you remember that they had a certain kind of a certain kind of herb that they would burn that would coat the lungs in a thick black substance, and if you were just exposed to too much of the smoke, then it would go into your lungs and cover them, and those afflicted would slowly choke to death. And they use this as kind of like a political assassination technique, and just to take out people, and in large groups or small groups, just if they could get the density of smoke correct. You use it to assassinate people who they didn't like or wouldn't allow the faith to spread or anything like that. He's asking to roll awareness notice. Actually, that would be cunning memory. If he's seen this herb anywhere in the set today, and you can roll that. Yes.
Can I do it too?
Sure.
Can I also?
Sure. Okay. TF rolled a 14.
12.
12. Okay. HB.
12.
12. Okay. So none of you recognize it. None of you have seen this sort of herb before. It you do remember that it grows in Dorne, and as such, it has it's very long and sagebrush kind of sagey sort of looking in color. And its consistency is almost like pine needles. So they're very long, maybe like a half inch, 3/4 inches long. And they kind of look and feel like pine needles. But if used properly, they should be dried out and have a very sage sort of color to them. He's asking if any of the maesters are from Dorne. You do not know if there are any maesters from Dorne, but you can roll a persuasion check. One of you guys can roll a persuasion check to ask if there are any maesters from Dorne there.
Does anyone have a persuasion better than 3? Besides Bob, who I want to be here right now.
He's going to wake up extremely soon. You're so close. The book that you had read about the Light of the Seven guys using... So, TF asked if there are any members of the parties that used the herb before there today. At least I'm going to interpret that's what you asked. So, you know that the Light of the Seven as an institution used to use this for political assassinations in the past, but the book that you read this in is 250 years old, and the knowledge has really been lost. No one has used this to your knowledge in hundreds of years. But before you know that the Light of the Seven, yeah, until now, and before you know that the high level septons of the Light of the Seven were the only members who used it. Again, for political assassinations, really to them religious assassinations to people who they thought were stopping the spread of their faith. I will also say that you know from your reading that the reason why the Septons really latched onto this as their preferred killing method is because the only known remedy is a pre-exposure to the incense that is used in Light of the Seven rituals. So the herb that is burned in rituals for the Light of the Seven also kind of coats the lungs in a similar manner, but it's a lot more spiderwebby sort of manner, so they can still breathe. Yes, as TF says, damn them, damn those others damn those other maesters are screwed. Yes, they are.
Can we all roll cunning memory to see if we recognize that smell?
The smell of
the
incense?
Yeah.
Sure. Go for it. And so their incense kind of coats the lungs in kind of more of a spiderwebby fashion so they can still breathe. But it also causes people who have been exposed to this incense to cough a lot.
I got a 15.
Okay. So you remember that the two most times that you remember smelling the incense was when you were standing outside the sept, when Maester Stanipo walked in and Maester Barely burst out. Or no, not Barely. Maester Ramsfield walked out. And you seem to remember that you seem to remember that the incense was heavily on Pollux. Especially Maester Fisher remembered smelling the incense on Pollux when Pollux was getting up into his face.
Because now Maesters Ramsfield and Pollux, as well as the Septon Stanipo, have all had pre-exposure to this incense, which could suggest that one or more of them were aware of this poisoning.
Da, da, da.
Ooh, Maester Julian is a lifesaver.
No shit, indeed.
So what do we do with it? Because now it's confirmed we cannot heal these people. They're all gonna die.
Why is he a lifesaver?
Because he just figured out what did it, like the cause of these people's affliction, and the only known remedy, which leads us to the only people we know to have the remedy.
Cool.
Or to have had the remedy.
Yeah.
And it's not just them, it'd be anyone who attended a Light of the Seven service in the last 8 hours.
Yeah, we just know that
you know that it's specifically connected with at least those three.
yeah, Stanipo in particular was very anxious to visit his sept, and Ramsfield stumbled out of there all groggy and tired, which, I mean, he could just be an ass, or he could be thinking about stuff like murder.
Oh, snap indeed, Mr. Transforcer. Oh, snap indeed.
And Pollux is just a weirdo.
And Pollux is nice. So TF is suggesting that you guys go and find Stanipo, Pollux, and Ramsfield.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, right about this time, Daniel Snow slowly and groggily wakes from his sleep.
Oh, thank God.
Has it been
Well,
long enough?
I'd like to check on him real quick and bring him back into the party.
Okay. Yes, and you
Yeah.
should fill him in on what happened.
Yeah, so I'd like to look. Are we at Daniel?
Yes.
I'd like to do another diagnose on him just to make sure he's going to be okay.
Okay.
23.
It appears that he's going to be fine. He's a little sweaty. He's pretty sweaty. His clothes are fairly drenched with his own sweat, and he's pretty tired because he was seizing. But he's going to live. It doesn't appear that he's afflicted with this smoke poison thing.
All right, let's fill him in on the need to know rundown of what's just gone down.
Okay, so you guys tell him.
So, Daniel, everybody's dead. No, I don't actually say that. That would be terrible. Waking up unconscious.
I told
Well, everyone
Daniel
died while you
that
were out.
pretty much we just tried to save a bunch of people, but instead just started cutting them open instead. That's exactly what I tell him.
I elaborate that while he was unconscious, in Conclave, we were able to get most people out all right, but a number of Maesters were afflicted with what appears to be an incense that restricts the flow of air through the body. So many Maesters who were exposed have now died or will die soon. So we've done our best to take care of them, make those that are going to die comfortable. But right now, we need to find Septon, Stanipo, and Maesters Ramsfield and Pollux.
Only they might have freaking lived if you hadn't drugged me.
So, what do you guys want to do? You are now all together. You have the status of the patients out of like the 35 people that were in the room. There's only 3 or 4 of them whose condition hasn't changed since they walked out. As in they're still coughing, but it appears that they're coughing up like some sort of like black ashy substance. And everyone else, their condition has been rapidly deteriorating. And so there's about 31 Maesters who are about to die, if they're not already dead.
That's a lot, and there's nothing we can do.
That is a lot.
I suggest that we get a couple of guards, not to attack or to make an arrest, but just to make sure that our suspects can't escape, and then go and locate our 3 current suspects.
Okay. So walk up to a guard. You walk up to a guard. Tell them what you want to do, and roll persuasion.
All right, I tell the guard, I believe that we've uncovered what has afflicted these Maesters. Sadly, there's nothing we can do for them in this state, but I need your help if you'll gather a small number of guards and come with us. There's 3 people we need to question, and I want a guard there to make sure that this process is legal and that they can't escape in case of emergency.
Excellent.
Or not, I should say in the King's law instead of legal, because that's 18.
Okay. So you walk up to a couple of guards and you make your speech, and they say, I will follow you.
Cool. How many do we got?
2.
Sweet.
2 gold cloaks.
Hey. So,
TF is celebrating in the affirmative. Yay. He's talking about me saying me. Is that you? Yeah.
Alright, so I asked the guards if they've seen any of the three people we're looking for.
Alright, roll persuasion.
Do they not like me already?
Well, you have to do everything. You can't just be like, you have to make a check every time.
But if they're already willing to help me.
I got a 13.
They're following you. Not. I'm trying to.
I got a 15.
All right. Well, they say, I haven't seen the septon you're talking about, or this Maester Ramsfield, but I think I saw that Pollux fellow running back upstairs right when everyone was filing into the conference rooms.
Alright. Let's go get him. Not like get him, but go find him.
Okay, so you guys are gonna run upstairs to try to find Pollux?
I think that's our only lead right now.
Okay.
So if someone has a different idea.
Okay. So you go upstairs, and you enter the main the main part of the sept with all the statues. And you're looking around, but you don't see him. And from here you have several different options. You can either go outside, you could go back downstairs to where you came from, or there's two doors on either side, like east and west, at the room, with the main exit being to the north. You know that on the east and west doors lead to specific barracks for when septons and septas are training. A lot of them are trained at the Sept of Baelor, and so that's where they kind of live and work and study and are trained. And so there's a septon gathering barracks sort of area and a septa gathering barracks.
Right. So, just to recap, there's 2 more rooms inside. There's downstairs, and then there's outside.
You're telling me this whole place is pretty much a giant maze of rooms?
It's a little mazy. I mean, it's a big building. So yeah, of the 4 possible exits, you can go down to the basement, you can go out into King's Landing, or you can go into one of these barracks areas. Should really start like more dormsy living areas with it.
Right. I think we should split up.
Okay.
And
all of us? Because I can't get very far.
Well, there's 4 of us, and then we're accompanied by 2 guards. So if 2 of us go into one room, 2 of us go in the other room, and the 2 least defensible go downstairs where there's more witnesses.
I say that Daniel is the weakest among us.
Yes, you did come from downstairs.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily see anyone downstairs, but there's a lot of places you didn't look yet.
Yeah, and guard the exits.
Yeah. So if any of them are downstairs, TF is saying you guys should split up and cover the 2 barracks rooms and then head outside.
That's smart. So I'm thinking Healbot, 1 guard, and I should go together, and then Bob, TF, and the other guard should go together, because Bob has a high persuasion and Julian has a high knowledge, and then they'll be protected by a guard. Fisher's status and my knowledge will be a good combo.
What do the other players think? Do you want to go along with this plan?
Nah, yeah, don't worry about it.
TF is saying yes. Bob?
Sure.
Each team should elect a representative, and that representative should roll awareness to see which team goes first. TF is saying Bob.
What's your awareness, Maester Fisher? So you should roll.
Cool.
Not that it really matters.
Yeah, just
17.
17. Okay. Robbers.
Rolling. 12.
12. All right. Our Gaius and HB are going first. Which barracks do you head towards? As your reward for beating the other team and the initiative, do you want to head towards the Septon barracks or the Septa barracks?
Let's do the Septa barracks.
So you guys walk into the Septa's barracks, and there is a long. It's a long rectangular hall, and there's doors on either side of it where there's individuals' rooms for people to sleep in, and at the end you hear the sounds of like water splashing.
Oh, great. Does it sound like suspicious water splashing or like someone's taking a bath?
It sounds like multiple bathings happening at the same time.
Wow. Really?
Wow, this is awkward. I suggest to the guard that he investigate first as an official representative.
Okay, roll persuasion.
I belay the guard and tell him, no. Oh damn, I don't know what your character's name is. Never mind, continue.
Yeah, you're not messing this up for me again. Okay, I got a 15.
You succeed. So the guard blushes and slowly walks down towards the hall. And so I'm just gonna paint the image that you see before you see like the long hallway that's has like oak doors for everyone's actual rooms, but the walls are still the marbly stone of the rest of the building. And then, so you see him slowly walk farther and farther and farther away from you. And then you see him turn right. And then he shouts, "Oi, what are you doing in here?" And he moves off out of your line of sight. And there's scuffling noises.
Let's follow him.
Okay. So as you approach, you're getting very close. You're like 3/4 of the way down the hallway, and right when the guards start scuffling with him, there's a lot of womanly screams. And right when you're about 3/4 of the way down, then the guard appears around the corner, and
Can I make a bet?
Yeah, you can make a bet. You'll probably go.
I mean, out
right?
of game. I bet it's Pollux because he's a creep.
You would be right. The guard appears around the corner holding Pollux by the back of his throat, and Pollux appears to be, you'll understand.
Yeah, I do. I wish I didn't.
Oh my, indeed, Mr. TF. So what do?
Right,
Pollux is now standing in front of you, incapacitated by this guard who has him from the scruff of his neck, and the Septas are still behind them, scurrying around and desperately trying to get dressed. You don't see any of them. You just hear these noises. You're not. Yeah, you don't see any of this yet.
Wow.
So we have no idea what's going on back there?
It appears that the Septas were bathing, and Pollux snuck in and was watching them. If you'd like to check under his robe for more information, I will let you.
Can I whap him with my stick?
Or worse would be what TF's thinking. It's probably worse than just watching. I'll leave
Can I
that
whack him
in
with
your
my
brain.
stick?
Oh, no. For the sake of YouTube, we're not going to find out any more information.
Just leave it at that.
Don't worry, he was too.
Yeah, I'm cool with the light wrapping of the stick because he seems responsive to that.
Go for it. Roll fighting.